Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now, everybody wants their big day to be perfect. We're talking about the wedding day here. But planning a wedding can be really stressful, expensive, and very, very time-consuming. So can you cut corners and still have your dream day? And the most important question of all, are you actually marrying for the right reasons and not just to have a big white wedding? Well, tonight we have makeup artist Mila Victoria, who'll be doing a bridal makeover live in the studio. We also have our resident marketing and financial expert, Justin Basini, who'll be giving us tips on how to have a nice wedding without breaking the bank. And also we'll be speaking to Yolanda Rome, who'll tell us about getting married for the wrong reasons and things ended up in a bit of a disaster. And it's Wednesday today, which means it's Challenge Chrissy Day. And I had a go at making a wedding cake, and you'll see how I got on in just a second. But let's just say hello to Bianca first.
Hello.
Hi, darling.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's nice to be sitting on the
You're
sofa.
blending in the sofa today.
Oh, no! I didn't even think about that.
No, you've got the dark cushion behind
Let's
you.
put that one back. Yeah. There you go.
So you're going to be telling us a few things about wedding disasters, right?
Wedding disasters.
But let's watch the challenge first?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at the challenge first, and then we'll talk to Bianca after this. Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's Challenge Chrissy. And today I'm going to have a go at baking a wedding cake and also decorating it. And today I'm here with Sarah from Barney's Bakery, and she's going to be showing me exactly what to do. So welcome, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
So how long have you been baking and doing this?
I set up the company a year ago, but I've been baking for about 6 years. I've been doing it. Well, today, first of all, you're going to bake the cake, and then we're going to show you how to split it, fill it, cover it.
Hopefully it will go well.
It will go perfectly. Okay. Don't worry. I'll be here to help.
All right. Thank you. So I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to make a simple vanilla sponge to start with. So first of all, we're going to cream some sugar and some butter together.
Right.
So if you want to put that in, that's 500 grams of butter. You need this to be at room temperature. And then we have 500 grams of caster sugar, 5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So now what we do is we cream these together. Should take about 5 to 7 minutes. So what you need to do now is we've got 10 medium eggs in here. And what you need to do is just whisk them gently so it's combined. We're now going to put these into the mixture. You need the mixture on quite high.
Right.
And then you add the eggs in bit by bit. So combine, lovely. So we're ready to put this into the pans. I'll just get those.
So Sarah, we've got the finished cakes here.
Yep.
Well, not finished, the baked cakes.
You've got a bit more work to do.
Yeah. Okay. So what's next now?
So next what we're going to do is we're going to trim them down. So this is an 8-inch board. The cakes are 9-inch, they've shrunk back a bit, so we need to trim around the edges. We're going to layer them, so it'll be 4 layers with buttercream and jam in the middle as well.
Okay.
And we're going to crumb coat them and put them in the refrigerator to firm up a little bit.
I've watched Sarah very, very carefully, so now I'm going to have a go to do what she just did myself. So let's see if I can get it right. Okay. I cut that way. It's kind of gone in a bit.
Oh, don't worry about that, we can sort that out with buttercream.
It's a little bit bent, but it's okay.
Yeah. And spatula the other way.
Okay.
Well,
that was a good start. I completely missed the cake. You made it look so easy, Sarah.
and we can just put them in.
How many?
However many you want. Not the whole thing. Kind of find the middle.
Yep.
And remember, in quick, don't worry about that. Smooth edges. down when you're doing it. So you just...
Oh. Oops. Well, it didn't quite work out as we expected.
There we go. And then all you need to do is position it so it's even.
So a very big thanks to Sarah from Barney's Bakery there. And I have to say, Bianca, that was, I know it looked pretty easy, but it was exhausting. My fingers were hurting, the rolling was hurting my hands, and I have a newfound respect for people that bake wedding cakes. I know some people complain it's a bit expensive, but I understand
really
why, because it takes ages. But it was good fun. Thank you very much. Did you like it? I gave you a piece, didn't I?
Yeah, I did that.
Honestly.
I warmed it up actually. I don't know if you're supposed to do that because you can warm cakes. It was nice.
But it's buttercream.
I know. It went a bit soggy, but it still tasted really nice.
Well, I'm not surprised if you heat your wedding cake up with buttercream.
Well, I wanted.
I knew you would do something like that.
I know, but you know, I only had a little bit because I've still got a little bit left in my fridge because I had a little bit, and I've been eating so much junk food recently. So I thought I can't keep eating all this cake.
Don't call my wedding cake junk.
Sorry, Chris. But so I tried it, and then I had like a little bit, put it in the microwave, and it had like loads of layers. It was really nice.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's yummy, but I didn't have a flour on top.
Oh, sorry. Next time.
Yeah.
If I make it again. Anyway, tell us about the wedding disaster.
So I've got some shocking wedding disaster stories to tell you. At a Russian wedding, things went wrong when a guest actually shot himself in the head with a rubber bullet. They were playing Russian roulette at the time at this Russian wedding, and the guest was left fighting for his life. Can you believe it? So they thought it would be a fun game, bit of entertainment to play Russian roulette with the guests, and it went sour after
That's a bit stupid at a wedding, isn't it?
Exactly, but the gun owner insists that there wasn't a bullet. The gun was emptied beforehand, and police are now doing a criminal investigation into it.
Surprise!
Shocking, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, that's
what a strange
like at a wedding.
game.
Why would you take a gun to a wedding anyway? But okay.
That's true. Why would you even take the gun to the wedding? Oh, let's have a bit of fun. And just as bad, a wedding couple along with their 80 guests were dumped into a muddy lake after the wooden decking beneath them collapsed, which included the bride's wheelchair-bound mother, their 88-year-old grandmother, and a baby. Awful, isn't it?
That's terrible.
And the wedding couple were determined to carry on, not let it ruin their day. So after they got back onto dry land, they carried on with the photo session despite being covered in mud.
Oh dear.
Horrible.
Bianca, just before you go on to the next one, I completely forgot to show the final version of my cake. Is it too late to bring it up? I can see it on the, there you go. Just wanted to show you the final version.
There we are. It's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. Back to what you're talking about.
Not a disaster like what I'm talking about. So that was quite shocking. So another shocking story, a bride who jokingly replied, "I don't," during her wedding ceremony in a castle in Austria, found that her joke backfired when the registrar refused to go ahead with the wedding ceremony. No. So as a result, she had to cancel the wedding and send all the guests home. And they were in Austria. They'd travelled out.
Do you know, that's something like, for example, you know when people make jokes when they're on aeroplanes and saying they've got a bomb in their suitcase or whatever, and they actually arrest them. That's
exactly.
That's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why you would mess about and say "I don't" during a wedding. And it was to do with an Austrian law. Apparently, if either couple or either party reply with a negative, then they are not allowed to go ahead with the wedding because of they're trying to get rid of forced marriages. So they're looking out for it. And so
still, it's a bit extreme.
It's horrible, isn't it?
I was joking.
Yeah. So they had to wait 10 weeks until they could reschedule again. But I'm not being funny. But if I was one of the guests, I wouldn't go to the wedding again. I'd be like, "You had your chance. You invited me. Came all the way to Austria, and you said no. So I'm not going back again. You can pay for my."
You're harsh, Bianca.
You can pay for my play. It's true though, isn't it, Chris? Would you go again?
I probably would if it was someone close.
I wouldn't.
Excuse for a holiday, isn't it?
That's true. But how embarrassing though.
I know.
Oh, awful.
So don't joke about weddings and don't joke on aeroplanes about bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And one final story, a man in Japan was arrested on suspicion of arson after the hotel he was scheduled to get married at got set on fire the night before. The 39-year-old groom had gone along with the wedding plans despite already being married and already had a wife. Oh, he says, I thought if I started a fire, I wouldn't have to go through with the wedding. He told police. Awful. It's ridiculous.
But talk about dumb, sorry.
So he thought by blowing up the venue that the bride would say, I no longer want to marry you. She's still going to marry you. She's just going to choose another location. Isn't it? That's really silly. And that's an example of when problems, like we're talking about this next Wednesday, but issues that occur and people aren't dealing with them properly. They're just like avoiding the issue. So like by avoiding that issue, he decided to blow up the whole venue. It's ridiculous.
Oh well, some people don't.
And do you know what? That could be really dangerous because someone could have like got really hurt in that fire. So it could have been could have been worse. But luckily, no one did get hurt in the fire. But that's really silly. You should just be honest and say, I'm already married.
That's just a coward. Sorry, that's just a coward. You got more? Is
that it? I've got some viewers have sent in some unusual wedding traditions. Beth says that in Germany, it's tradition to go to the bride's house the night before to smash all the plates, which is a sign of getting rid of the past and bringing on good luck. I've heard of that before with the smashing of the plates. Have you heard that, Chris, before?
Well, we do it in Cyprus.
Oh yeah, you do, yeah. So have you seen that being done before?
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Well, not just weddings, they do it for any old excuse.
Really?
I thought it was a bit expensive actually to do that all the time, smash all your plates, but normally it's like a sign of celebration.
Yeah, what I would do if it was my wedding and I knew someone was coming over to smash my plates, I'd hide all the nice plates and just put out all the cheap ones. I'd go to like Poundland or somewhere and give them those.
Okay. Bianca, thank you very much. I don't know if you've got more.
I have got a couple more.
We haven't got time though because we've got to go to a break.
There we are then.
All right, so let's go to a quick break and afterwards we're going to speak to Mila Victoria about some bridal makeup. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happiest side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the show and we're talking all about weddings today and now I'd like to introduce Mila Victoria. Hello Mila.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm very good.
And we have two gorgeous models here as well. Yes. One's made up already, that's Chrissy on the right hand side there. Gorgeous. And we also have Natalie who you're going to do the makeup for on the show live. Tell us a bit about what you do first of all, Mila.
Well, I am a professional makeup artist. I do makeup and hair back in Toronto, in Canada. But yeah, I work part-time here at a cosmetic shop and I also freelance and do fashion week, films, anything that involves makeup really.
Okay, so you love it basically.
I love it, yes, I love it. Never get sick of it.
Okay, so you've done a lovely job here on Chrissy. Can you talk us through the look that you've chosen for Chrissy?
Yeah, definitely. On Chrissy, basically this could be quite bold but classic at the same time. Bold lips are the trend for spring summer right now and it's just like a nice balance to create some definition with the eyes and still have like a nice bright red on the lips. There is a red for every person. Really? Whether if you want something really strong or a bit more like a vintage wine. But the best thing to do is just to really just try it on and see which one fits your personality.
Okay. Yeah. And you're also going to do Natalie's makeup today. What did you have in mind for Natalie? I mean, how do you decide, for example, say if a bride comes to you and she's like, I really don't know what kind of makeup to do for my wedding and she needs your advice. What would you sort of look at on her face and decide from there?
Well, yeah, like virtually you can wear any makeup look that you'd like to wear. It just really depends on the bride and make sure that they feel like themselves the day of the wedding. So I definitely highly recommend a trial. A lot of brides do leave it last minute. I don't know how. That's crazy. I have no idea. They're like, oh, I'm getting married like tomorrow. I need makeup. I'm like, ah. But basically, I just try to get to know what they're comfortable with. If, you know, we always use like photo references as to what kind of makeup they see because not every smoky eye is the same for everybody. Yeah. You know, like I have a client, her day look at 7 a.m. is a smoky eye with 2 pairs of lashes at 7 a.m. That's her day look. So consultation is very crucial and you just like to personalize it and it comes like as the expert, then we apply it as flattering to their bone structure.
Do you need to see the kind of dress they're going to wear as well, or can you decide?
Yeah, I know. Seeing like the full image really does help, because, you know, if you come in with like a jumper and like, oh, I want to do smoky eye, and then they look at it, they can't really visualize the whole thing together. So we kind of have to like help the bride just imagine everything all together, and that when everything is put together, everything just makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to do with Natalie today?
Well, with Natalie today, I'm going to do one of the more requested looks is a smoky eye, because a lot of women want to feel like supermodels on the day of the wedding, and they should totally, for sure. I'd love to be like walking down the aisle like on a catwalk, you know. So I'm going to do a nice soft glam look. As far as colors, I'm going to stick towards like the color skin tone harmonies, so they're quite flattering for anybody. And yeah, we're going to keep the focus on the eyes and just do like a natural nude lip on her, so you can see the two different looks and see.
So while you start her makeup, then I'd like to show a video here of some wedding dresses that we recorded last year sometime, and some gorgeous wedding dresses, I have to say. So Mila's going to be doing the makeup here. Christy, thank you very much. I think you look gorgeous, darling.
Thank you.
You look so beautiful. Just wish I had a dress on now. Maybe you could borrow one of these dresses that we're going to show. All right, so let's just take a look at this video, and then we'll speak more to Mila after this.
Here we are in Oxford outside the Ellie Sanderson Bridal Boutique. We're going to go in and have the Ellie Sanderson experience, and I'm going to pretend to be the bride for the day. And who are you going to be?
I'm going to be the bridesmaid.
So let's go in.
Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
I know you guys have come today to try on some wedding dresses and get a flavour for Ellie Sanderson experience. So I was going to look after you for a consultation and try on some dresses, but first things first, can I offer you some champagne?
Okay.
And they will say it's elementary. Try.
Hello, nice to meet you, Barbara.
Hi, nice to meet you.
And Joanna, nice to meet you. So we're going to try on a variety of different designs, I think, for you, because I think looking at you, you've got the figure that you could wear most things. The main thing is trying to find something that suits your personality.
Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Dad was told by mother, you can't have one, you can't have none.
So should we start with something like this, which is also a fish sort of fit and flare?
It's lovely and flowy.
I'm going to try you with that and see how we get on.
Yeah, let's try it.
Now let's see the first dress.
This dress is a Suzanne Neville, does fantastic courses and structure, so if you like a bit of a squeeze, she's your designer. We'll try something a little bit fuller, maybe with a little bit of sparkle.
So let's take a look at the second dress.
With a cappuccino sash, it's quite a nice little contrast, a little bit warm. So let's try something but slightly lower in the waist.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Let's take a look at the third dress. God, it's beautiful.
It's modern, but it has still got that classical feel. So it's, again, very dreamy, very romantic. Again, you've got that silk organza, very floaty, very romantic, fairy tale, isn't it? It's your fairy tale dress.
So let's look at the fourth dress. Let's go. Looks so glamorous.
It is as it is, and you just love it for what it is.
And tell us also about the accessory. I mean, it's beautiful.
Stunning. It was designed for the catwalk to go with this especially, and it's a lot lighter and sparklier, and it just complements this dress.
Are you ready for the final dress? Let's take a look.
It's very Audrey Hepburn, Roman holiday, 1950s. The little shorty dresses are coming back in. It is a little bit of a craze at the moment to have a little shorty dress, and I think you have to try one so that you know they've tried it.
They all have their sort of unique selling points, and you know, beautiful and different in their own way. But you know, if it was to actually go and buy a dress for the actual day, it'd probably have to be number 3.
I'm a big fan of the Two Birds bridesmaids dresses. They're the dresses that you can wear for being a bridesmaid, but you could also wear it for another occasion. Lots of brides like to do is one, have a little sparkly belt maybe for the ceremony, and then in the evening change it so it's a colour so it complements or it goes with the bridesmaid. It's been an absolute pleasure having you both here to try a few designs, to accessorise you and do the whole look with you.
One last thing, ladies, when you finally snare your man, I hope you know where to come.
We do.
And they look absolutely gorgeous. Mila, how are we doing over here?
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. I can't wait to see the final look. And you know what? We also had a question that came through. What would Chrissy do? We're going to be answering this after the break. And Justin here on my right. Hello, Justin.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. I've had a fantastic week.
Have you?
Yeah. Researching this wedding thing has put me in a wedding mood.
You've got lots of nice tips for us, haven't you?
Some tips
about
on how to
to
save
save money and stuff like that. So I'm
That's
really
right.
looking forward to hearing that. But I've also had a question from a viewer, and I'm going to give my opinion after the break, and I'd like to get a man's take on things as well. I know you helped me last time. But this viewer's asking, my sister is getting married, but her fiance treats her really badly, and I don't think I want to attend the wedding. But the thing is, she's expecting me to support her because she feels insecure about being on her own. Sorry about that. Just a second, I'm losing my voice. And she's asking, what would Chrissy do? Now, what would you guys do in this situation? I know what I would do in this situation, but I'd like to hear from you as well. If you'd like to give me a call, you can do so on 020-7686-6300. And you can also email chris@chrissybshow.tv. Or if you like, you can also tweet @ChrissyBshow. What would you do if your sister was getting married and the guy that she was getting married to you really don't approve of because he treats your sister badly? What would you do? So join us after the break and you'll get my opinion on this and also Justin's. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, welcome back. And just to answer this question from a viewer, just to remind if you guys have just joined us, this viewer's asking, my sister's getting married, but her fiance treats her really badly, and I don't think I can attend the wedding. But the thing is, she's expecting me to support her because she feels insecure about being on her own. What would Chrissy do? Now, obviously, we don't know what you haven't sort of specified here what he's doing, if he's abusive, if he's ratty. I don't know what it is, but even still, I still would attend the wedding if I was in your shoes. It's her special day, even though you don't agree with who she's marrying, but at the end of the day, she needs you there. And if, for example, something does go wrong later on, if you don't attend the wedding, she probably won't even come to you for help. The first thing I would do is try and speak to her and tell her, look, I've seen the way he's treating you. I don't agree with it. I really don't think this is the person for you. Or at least try and get him to get some help before even going ahead with this. That's what I would do first. If she decides to go ahead with it, then I would still attend just to support her, not because I agree with the wedding. And I think it's important, it's going to be important to her for you to be there. I don't know what you think, Justin.
I agree with you. So I think family is for life. You know, that relationship that she has with her sister is going to be hopefully forever. And so we all make mistakes. We all have highs, we all have lows, and we need our family and our brothers and sisters to be around us. So I agree with you. I think you should go with the wedding and support her.
I mean, it is really hard to see a family member in that situation.
Very
you
hard.
want to sort of protect them. It's your natural instinct to want to protect them and help them. But not going is not going to make a difference. She's still going to get married to this guy,
That's
probably.
Right. I mean, I think you're right, though. She needs to make her views clear to her sister about the fact that she doesn't approve, but the fact that she's going to support her just shows the love that she has.
Exactly. Okay, well, I hope that's helped you at home. Obviously, that's our opinion. You need to do what you feel was best, but that's what I would do anyway, and that's what Justin would do. But tell us about budget weddings, Justin, because I'm sure like loads of people want to save some money.
So in this time that we have of austerity and nobody's got any money, so the average wedding in the UK now costs £20,000.
Gosh,
can you believe that? incredible. I couldn't believe it when I read that. And 20% of couples say that they argue about money and nearly break up before they have a wedding.
Oh, seriously?
So,
I can imagine it's quite a stressful
it's
time
very,
anyway,
very
isn't it?
stressful,
Yeah.
and especially if you don't have that much money and there's lots of parents paying for different parts of the wedding and things like that, it can be very, very stressful. So you've got to remember it's your special day, but it's a project. And that's the first thing I think. You need to talk with your partner, you need to talk with your family. It's your first married project, as it were, planning your wedding. And often, if you need to save up, it can be years before you're going to get married. So it's a long, long-term project, and you need to lay out a plan and a budget. And this week, I've spent quite a lot of time on the internet looking at all the different planning stuff that you can do around weddings, and there is absolutely loads.
Really?
So what I would say is get on the internet, start to Google around budget planning, and you will find lots and lots of tools. There's even a site on Google, so Google's own site, www.google.com/weddings.
Oh,
and Google has a bunch of tools there of how to plan your
nice.
wedding.
Oh,
It's
I didn't know
absolutely
that.
amazing.
Ooh.
And it's got budget planners and all the different things that you need to think about. So getting a plan and a budget is really, really important. The internet can really help, and there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself, and those are: when do you want to have your wedding? Where do you want to have your wedding, and how many people? And those are the 3 questions that define really how much you're going to pay. So if you choose a Saturday in August, you're going to pay quite a lot of money for that location, right?
Yeah.
And so actually, if you were to say, I'm going to choose a Wednesday in November, you would end up saving a huge amount of money, right? So actually thinking about that, and again, thinking about when you can actually choose to do the wedding, actually saves you a lot of money. Then, of course, how many people? And so weddings get big very, very quickly. So really thinking about and put a figure on it. So let's say it's going to cost you £100 a head. Do you really want that friend of your mum's that you haven't seen for 10 years
That you don't even
when
like,
you're going to pay
probably.
you don't even like, but you're going to pay £100 to give them dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
So thinking about your guest list is really, really important, and obviously where. And there are loads of really great offers at the moment. So Holiday Inn, for example, and a lot of the hotels have packages, pre-made packages, where they will really help you. And I was reading this week about people who've used that, and it's a budget wedding. So for like £999, you get the wedding, you get food, you get drink, you get a toastmaster, you get, it's really quite a full package. And you think, budget wedding, is that right? But actually, if you read a lot of the lot of the comments on the internet, people are saying that it was really good, and the staff went overboard to make them feel really good about it, and that they had a really great time. So look at all the different options.
But so people just think wedding has to be expensive, but it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Because I have a friend that she was in debt for a few years because of the wedding that she basically financed with her fiance, her husband. So it was stressful afterwards. So it's just one day.
Yeah, it is just one day, and you've got to remember that actually the most important thing is the love that you have between you, and that doesn't need to have thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds put around it. So the second thing that I would say is you need to play a game called the wedding prioritisation game. Okay, great game to play when you're planning a wedding. So what you do is you write down on cards all the different things that you want for your wedding. So you want the great cake, like a cake that you made, you want a great cake, you want
nice
the professional photographer, you want that church, or you want that place.
I didn't make that one, but
Yeah, you want a cake like that. You want all these different things.
Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to write them all down on cards, and then you need to lay them out in a big list. And what you need to do is you need to start to prioritise them. So what is the most important thing to you? Is it the photographs, or is it the cake, or is it having the right venue? And what you do is you get all of that into priority order. Now that's really, really important, because then what the next stage of planning your wedding is to go through all those different things and start to find the deals to make that happen. So let's say, for example, let's take wedding dresses. So we saw that video on wedding dresses. There are loads of sites out there now called, where you can find wedding dresses that are called once worn. So they've been worn once, and now you can get them. And whereas a dress might be like £3,000, you can get it in worn once for like £500. So you can get a designer dress, but for much, much cheaper. I was also looking, there's now lots and lots of wedding dress manufacturers on eBay from China, where they will manufacture you a
dress for 50 quid.
Exactly.
Not
right?
50 quid.
Yeah, really cheap, like
Seriously?
£100. Yeah. Now you have to be a bit careful with the quality, and you have to do some research. So look at all the ratings and make sure that people are that other customers have been happy.
Yeah.
But it's a really great way to save a lot of money. So what you're trying to do is if you're trying to do a budget wedding, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get all the things that you really want, but get them at a knockdown price. And then that's the last 2 tips. Haggle, haggle, haggle. Right? You've got to make sure that you get in there. And often
It's not very British to do that, is it?
It's not very British. We've all been told that you mustn't haggle and you mustn't argue with people. You've got to go after that deal.
Really?
And the thing you've got to do is you must never tell them you're planning a wedding. Because as soon as you say, oh, I'm planning my wedding, I want to do this, they just see the pound signs. So you've got to be very smart and cagey about that, about what you want to do. Try and get them down to their best deal, and then ask for a discount. You should just make a rule to yourself, you ask for 20% off.
Right.
So they say, oh, that's going to be £2,000. You say, I want 20% off. And what they'll often do is they'll say no, but you might negotiate like a 10% off, or what often happens is, instead of you getting money off, because often they can't give you money off, what you can do is you can say, actually, I want an extra. So I want a glass of champagne for all my guests for free. And so they can throw in extra things, but they're not going to do it unless you ask for it, right? Because it's eating into their margin. So you need to get out
I suppose they
there.
already expect that from people, and then when they don't ask, that's it, you just lose out,
That's
don't
right.
you?
They're
So
sitting
they're
there
prepared
going,
for it already.
Exactly. If they're not going to ask, I'm not going to give them.
I'm not going to say anything,
You need to really get out there and ask. And once you've got prices, you can put them against all your prioritizations. So you've got your long list of things that you want. You can say, okay, the professional photographer is going to cost me £200. The cake that I want is going to cost me £400. And then you can start to add all that up, and you can start to think about what your overall budget needs to be. And then obviously there will be some things beneath the line that where you say, actually, I only want to spend £5,000 on my wedding, so therefore I can't get all this sort of stuff. And then you can ask yourself the question of, well, actually, is that a higher priority than that one for the price? And you can start to get... The danger is that you go in with that long list, you price it all up, and then you say, actually, it's going to cost me £15,000. How do I fund that? Then you're thinking about credit cards and loans and all these sort of things, trying to get money from different people, and it becomes very difficult. So you're much better to plan it and to give yourself a budget, whether it's mum or dad or friends. The other thing to remember is that traditionally in weddings, it was usual to ask for money. So nowadays, we don't ask for money, right? Often you have these long lists at John Lewis and Debenhams and things like, oh, Debenhams is a good one. If your wedding list gets to £250, they give you a £50 gift voucher.
Oh, do they?
Isn't that good?
Okay.
So anyway, so what you have is you have these long lists, and people buy the crockery that maybe you're going to smash during the wedding. So you buy all these things. And actually...
Justin, have you got a lot more to say? Because I can bring you on for the next part, because we need to go to a break.
Okay, I've got a few more things.
Okay, all right then. So we're going to bring Justin back, because I really want to hear the rest of what he's going to talk about. And we're also going to bring Yolanda on, who basically got married for the wrong reasons, and we're going to find out what happened to her. Join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. We're going to finish speaking to Justin because he's got a few more tips for us on how to have a budget wedding. But Mila, how's it going over there?
Oh, it's going really well.
She's looking very gorgeous.
Very,
so we're going to finish very shortly, aren't we? And then we can show the final look. And also, Justin, you were telling us a point before the break.
So my last tip is don't be embarrassed to ask for money. Ask for help, right? So it used to be traditional that everybody would ask for money, and that's what people did. They gave money at weddings. Nowadays, it's all about giving gifts. But if you are a bit short of money, don't be embarrassed about asking for money, right?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. And sometimes it's easier to, for guests to give you money.
That's exactly
sometimes you're, oh my God, what do I get them? What if they don't like it? But at least, with money, they'll get what they want.
And if you get the finances and the budgeting and the planning right, it sets you up for a great day. And if you get that right, you'll have loads more fun. So it's really worth doing.
Okay, Justin, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Those are great tips. And now we're going to speak to Yolanda, because there's no point, for example, of going to the expense of a gorgeous wedding, having the beautiful dress, the perfect cake, lovely makeup, and then it all goes down the pan. It ends in disaster because you got married for the wrong reasons, and someone that got married for the wrong reasons is Yolanda here. Hello, Yolanda. How are you?
Hi, Grace. Very well, thank you.
So you had the wedding dress and everything, didn't you? You had your wedding.
Yes.
But what happened? Because you got married for the wrong reasons, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, it was the wrong reasons why. Because I was in love and everything, but I got into a relationship in the first place because I was feeling very lonely. Right. I was a single mom already, and I was very lonely. That was the main reason. I wanted someone next to me. For 3 years I was already alone, and that was, you know, that's what drive me to look for someone. You know.
But you said you were in love with the person.
I was.
But could you see that he was wrong for you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, I knew something was wrong, but I just blind. I just decided to blind. I have many friends talking to me, telling, no, he's not the right one. Don't go there. So because we met, and 6 months later we got married.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah. So
was that you pushing that, or was that him wanting to get married quickly?
Well, it started slowly, and we got married quickly because to sort out his papers.
Right. Okay. That's two wrong reasons so far that we've spoken about. So, first of all, never get married just because you're lonely, because that's the recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
It could be you can fool yourself into thinking this guy or this person is the right one for me, and when in actual fact they're not. And it's I know it's not a nice feeling to be lonely, but you can't expect someone just to fill that gap. Like we always say on the show, you need to be your own person. You need to be happy within yourself first. Yes, of course, you want to have someone by your side and you want to share your life with, but it's much better to stay single for a bit longer and meet the right one than end up with someone that's completely wrong for you, because even though he's going to be there or she's going to be there, you're going to feel lonely still because you're not compatible. And the next one is, like, for example, like you're saying, the papers. Again, that's quite an obvious one. It's going to go wrong. You're not going to be happy. And the longer you're with someone that's not right for you, the longer you're prolonging happiness with someone that you are meant to be with.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So yeah, that was the main reason. And along the way, I had friends, and even my parents, my mom as well, was telling me, no, there's nothing. Something's not right. Something is not right. Very, very good friends that have been with me for a long time. Something is not right. Please don't take that decision. But you know, you're in love, you blind, you completely blind. You just want what you want. You just want, just want to be with someone that moment. So yeah, that's a good thing to, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be with someone, and he will change. He will change. No, things will be okay, So
well, in actual fact, sometimes people are on their best behaviour before they get married.
Yes,
and it's very unlikely that they'll change. It's likely that they're going to change for the worse, because now they're going to relax and just be themselves.
Yeah, and he was very good behaviour, but it was things that I saw, when he was talking on the phone with someone, ex, I thought it was ex, and so that will make me think. But because he was so nice with me, with my son, he was very nice. He was, he would bring me presents. He bought me a car.
Oh, as you do. Yeah.
Like 2 months before, and so he was quite nice. He was treating me really well. So I said, oh wow, because I had a first very long relationship. Obviously, I had a son from that, and it was really bad. So this was, for me, it was like treating me like a princess, and said, this is what I need, I was...
Because you came through quite a difficult first relationship, didn't you?
The first relationship was quite difficult as well.
So now it's like all of a sudden someone's treating you really nicely, they're spoiling you, and that's another reason not to get married to someone. It's not a reason to get married to someone just because someone's spoiling you. You need to look out for the signs. Yeah. You really have to make sure, because it's a massive decision, isn't it, getting married?
Yes, yeah.
But things went wrong. Let me just check with Mila how she's doing over here. Mila, how's it going?
Yeah, we're almost done, actually.
Almost done.
Just going to do the lip, and yeah. Wow, beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous, but we're going to go to in just a second. So tell us what actually happened then, very briefly.
In the marriage?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
things went wrong?
Straight away after.
Really?
Yeah, he just locked himself up on, he He would just stop talking to me. He would just ignore me. Rejection.
Did he give any reason for that?
No. He was just very quiet for a few months. And I said, oh, what's wrong? Oh, he misses his children. He's got children in another country. Oh, he's just a little bit lonely. Family.
So he'd also married the wrong person in a sense. Maybe he realised at that point, look, I didn't marry really for love or because this was the person for me. It probably hit him as well.
Yeah, it could be. It could be as well. He got into a deep depression after that, and so yeah, he would just, and then I found out bit by bit why, and you know, like 1 year along the line, and so found out that he was with his ex. He was with someone else already.
He was with someone.
Still with someone else.
So he was with someone before you got married and all the way through your marriage.
Yeah.
Which lasted how long? Your marriage?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was like a double life with both of us.
That must have been awful when you found out.
Yeah, it was really bad. But I said to him, because it was an agreement to get married so quick. It was an agreement between me and him. So I said, that's fine.
But
I'm still gonna help you. Yeah, I'm still gonna help you, but please go. You know, I told him to leave. Just leave. You know, I live my life. You know, you go with her, and because they had a child together. So just go with her. Don't worry. But he kept coming back, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of said, oh yeah, he really loves me.
You must have been quite insecure within yourself,
very,
because
very
you already knew he was with someone else now.
Yeah.
But and yet you still wanted him back. You still liked it when he would come back to you.
Yeah, it was a sort of obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew what I needed to do, but because I was so insecure from my first relationship, you know, I didn't get over that yet. So every time he would come back and he would do something nice, I would say, oh, that's so great, you know, he loves me.
But he broke your heart in the end.
But he broke my heart many times. Many times,
now? What would you do before you say if you met someone now? What kind of precautions would you take to make sure it's the right one?
Well,
just
I have
before we
to
go
get
to
to know the person really, really well. We have to be very, very compatible, have the same, you know, have the same vision, have the same, agree on the same, you know, where we want to go.
Did you work on yourself though as well? Because obviously if you go into another relationship feeling insecure about yourself and needy, that's also going to go wrong, isn't it? Have you worked on yourself?
Yes. Well, I went through domestic violence with him as well. So I did. When I came out of it, there was I went to a help center that really helped me a lot. You know, a women's group, and it really, really helped me to boost up my confidence, to my self-esteem. You know.
So now you're ready, basically, and now you're going to make the right choices, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
All right, Yolanda, thank you so much for sharing that story, and I hope that serves as a warning sign, right, for others as well that are thinking of getting married for the wrong reasons. But let's go over to Mila now. Let's see the final version. Tell us what you've done here very briefly. She looks beautiful. They both do.
Yes. So here we have two beautiful bride-to-bes. We have the classic retro graphic liner with the bold lip, and here we have the soft, like, well, for some people it'll be quite a dramatic eye, but we have like a smoky eye and the more neutral lip, so you can see.
Can we get a close-up just to see?
Yeah.
Let's have a close-up there. Okay, wow. That's lovely.
Gorgeous. Look at you. Throw him a little wink. Yeah. Gorgeous.
That's absolutely beautiful. And do you feel comfortable with that, Natalie? Do you like this makeup look?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think if it's effortless, then that's all you can ask for.
And how can you make makeup last the whole day? So she's got this beautiful. They've both got this beautiful look, and it's their wedding day. Say, how do they keep that makeup looking so gorgeous?
Skincare and prep. Primer is really essential. So just make sure, you know, with the moisturizer, because a lot of people think, oh, you know, I get really oily, so I'm going to use like oil-free moisturizer. But actually, a lot of people are dehydrated. So really good skincare, primer, and foundation. I would say invest in a good foundation. Right. There's so many lines out there that sell like water-resistant or long-lasting formulas. So try them out weeks prior to the wedding day, so your skin can get used to it and see what you like. Because it's one thing if, you know, whatever makeup it is you choose, if the skin doesn't look like skin, then you're going to feel really uncomfortable and it's going to be weird.
Well, they both look gorgeous. So you do a great job. Well done, Mila.
Gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, model. Those are great.
Thank you. We have reached the end of the show, but thank you to all my guests tonight. It's been brilliant. And if you want more information about the guests tonight, you can visit the website chrissybshow.tv and all the information will be there for you. So join us again next time. Bye-bye for now. So now we have our buttercream filling.
Should I take that out of the way?
Yeah. What we're going to do next? Oh, after this.
We'll do the sugar. Okay. So do you want me? I'll just. So now we've made our vanilla buttercream.
3, 2, 1.
So now we've made our vanilla buttercream. We're all ready to split and fill the cakes. Oh, have you put icing sugar down?
No, I didn't. And it's stuck.
Let's
do that
Lots
again.
of icing sugar. Hard work?
Yes.